Hola, mi nombre es Santiago, and that is Spanish for hello, my name is Santiago. And my family is from Mexico, so I speak two languages, Spanish and English. And as you can see, I love to celebrate Christmas. The word Christmas in Spanish is Navidad. And my tia, that means aunt, loves to celebrate too. And every year, my adorada tia sends me gifts to unwrap before Christmas. Okay, here it goes. Wow, an angel. I love it. I can't wait to find a place for this. This is such a good Christmas gift because an angel played a very, very big part in the Christmas story. And this real life story started thousands and thousands of years ago. There was a great king named David, and God promised that a forever king would come from King David's family. And that family was part of God's people called the tribe of Judah. The people of Judah waited for their forever king for many, many years, but they became scared and sad because their enemy came for them. But there was still no forever king. God wanted them to trust him, so he sent the prophet Isaiah to talk to them. A prophet is a person who speaks God's words to others. And God used Isaiah to help the people know they could trust God and his promises, including the promise of the forever king. Isaiah shared that a young woman who was not married would have a son and name him Immanuel. Immanuel is a Hebrew word that means God is with us. So, Isaiah's message meant that a child who wasn't even born yet was going to show the people that God was with them. So you see, God's people were scared and sad, but God had a plan to help them. Now, let's get to the angel. I didn't forget. About 700 years after Isaiah shared God's message, God's people were still waiting for a child to be born from King David's family. But the wait was about to be over. A carpenter named Joseph lived in a small town called Nazareth. And a carpenter is someone who builds things. Joseph was one of God's people. He was part of King David's family. And he was going to marry a young woman named Mary. And she was going to have a baby. Joseph didn't know it, but the baby was coming from God. Are you ready to hear about the angel? One night, an angel from God came to Joseph in a dream. The angel told him not to be afraid to get married to Mary, even though she was going to have a baby. The angel told Joseph the baby inside of her is from the Holy Spirit, and she will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. The angel shared good news from God, just like Isaiah had shared good news from God hundreds and hundreds of years earlier. Joseph knew about God's promise that the baby would be born to a young woman who wasn't married, and the baby was going to be called Immanuel. Immanuel, which means God with us. Can you imagine what Joseph must have thought? He was going to be part of the greatest promise of all time. He understood that Mary's baby was the hope for all the people. This was how God was going to keep his promise. Jesus would be the Messiah, the forever king who would save them all. So, when Joseph woke up, he went to Mary and they got married, just like the angel encouraged him to do. The promise of Jesus was for God's people who lived a long, long time ago, but the promise is for us too. I know it. And my tia knows it. Jesus is our hope too. When we choose to follow Jesus, we get to live with God forever as his kids, even when life is hard. Like if we feel scared or sad or we have to wait, like God's people did, we can remember and trust that God is with us. God knows us. He loves us. And he leads us. Jesus is our hope. Well, thank you or gracias for listening. Now, if you excuse me, I have to find the perfect place for this angel. Adios.